Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you're feeling great, full of energy and positivity, and then out of nowhere, a wave of negative thoughts and emotions hits you? It's like one moment you're on top of the world, and the next, you're swamped with doubts and worries. This experience is not only common but also a significant part of personal growth, especially for those who are just beginning their journey in spirituality or are navigating through the ups and downs of everyday life. When you first step into the realm of spirituality and come across concepts like the law of attraction, it's natural to feel a surge of motivation and excitement. Then, you start incorporating it into your life, visualizing and acting as if you already have what you wish for. However, this initial excitement can sometimes be followed by a period of overwhelming negative thoughts. This happens particularly when your mind tries to make sense of these new ideas that might seem strange or illogical at first, without seeing any results. It's like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. Your rational mind struggles to reconcile these new concepts with what it already knows. Consequently, many people end up forcing themselves to use the law of attraction without truly understanding or believing in it. They try to will themselves into positivity, which can be an exhausting and unfruitful exercise. This effort often leads to disappointment and a cycle of negativity, as the results they're hoping for don't materialize in the way they expected. But here's the interesting part. What if I told you that these negative thoughts aren't necessarily a setback, but could actually be used to your advantage? It may sound counterintuitive, but these challenging moments are valuable opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. In this video, you'll discover why your emotions can change so quickly. You'll also learn how to turn your negative thoughts into positive ones and understand why this is beneficial for you. This phenomenon, where our emotions seem to swing from one extreme to another, is deeply connected to a concept known as the Hermetic principle of polarity. As stated in the Kybalion, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. Like and unlike are the same. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. This principle, originating from ancient Hermetic teachings, tells us that everything in the universe, including our emotions, has its own opposites or poles. It's akin to the two ends of a stick. Although they are at opposite ends, they are part of the same object. These opposites, while they may appear completely different, are in fact quite similar in their nature. The only distinction lies in their degree or intensity. To understand this concept better, let's consider temperature as a simple, everyday example. We are all familiar with hot and cold. At first glance, they seem like entirely different things. One makes us seek warmth, while the other invites us to cool down. However, hot and cold are essentially the same thing, temperature, just expressed in different degrees. They are not two unrelated phenomena, but rather 2 points on a broad spectrum of temperature. This idea of opposites being identical in nature but different in degree can be applied to our emotions as well. Our feelings operate on a spectrum. On one end, we have positive emotions, joy, love, excitement. On the other end are negative emotions, sadness, fear, anger. Just like hot and cold are both temperatures, these positive and negative emotions are both feelings, differing only in how they are expressed and experienced. This concept leads us to the idea of balancing opposites, which is similar to how a thermostat functions in a house. Imagine it's cold outside and you leave a window open. The thermostat detects this change and activates the heating system to generate more heat, thereby maintaining a balanced temperature inside. This process is akin to the natural law of equilibrium at work. Similarly, in our emotional lives, this law of equilibrium often plays a role. For instance, you might have noticed that on some days when you feel exceptionally excited or joyful, the following day, you might find yourself facing a surge of negative emotions. This is not a coincidence, but a manifestation of nature's balancing act. The same principle can be observed in relationships. When both partners are deeply in love, experiencing high levels of positive emotion, nature might balance this out with challenges, like arguments or disagreements. This doesn't necessarily mean that the love has diminished, but rather that the relationship is undergoing a natural process of emotional regulation. It's a cycle where intense love can sometimes lead to intense disagreements, not out of hate, but as a way of maintaining an emotional balance within the relationship. Understanding this can help us navigate our emotions and relationships with more awareness and acceptance, recognizing that highs and lows are natural and essential parts of life's equilibrium. Instead of resisting or fighting against your negative emotions, it can be more beneficial to fully immerse yourself in them. Emotions, either positive or negative, are a fundamental part of our human experience and have their own purpose. When you encounter feelings of sadness, anxiety, or frustration, allow yourself to truly feel and acknowledge these emotions. If you feel the urge to cry, let the tears flow. This approach aligns with the concept of not creating resistance against your negative emotions. Resistance often prolongs and intensifies these feelings, creating an internal struggle. By accepting and experiencing your emotions as they are, you reduce this internal conflict, allowing the negative emotions to dissipate more naturally. This is akin to reaching one extreme of the pole of emotions. Due to the law of equilibrium discussed earlier, immersing yourself in these negative emotions sets the stage for a natural shift towards positivity. As you reach the depths of your negative feelings, the natural balance of emotions will start to pull you towards the other end of the spectrum. This is where positive thoughts and feelings begin to emerge, almost as a natural counterbalance to the negativity you've experienced. To facilitate the transition from negative to positive emotions, you can incorporate the following 3 specific methods into various situations of your life. These methods are designed to help you effectively immerse yourself in your negative thoughts and emotions. By doing so, you allow these feelings to dissipate without resistance, enabling you to naturally progress to the other side of the emotional spectrum. This approach is not about forcing positivity, but about acknowledging and experiencing the full range of your emotions, thus allowing a natural shift from negative to positive feelings as part of the emotional balancing process. Write down your negative emotions. When you take the time to write down your bad feelings and really let yourself feel them, you start a strong process of getting rid of resistance and getting back to feeling good. Nature always does things in the easiest way. In the same way, when you face and accept your feelings, they start to fade away, helping you get back to feeling balanced. Bad feelings usually come from worry, not knowing what will happen, or in more serious cases, fear. These feelings come from the mind trying to make sense of things. When something happens that we can't control, we start to worry. If we worry too much, it turns into fear. It's important to know that the brain often can't tell the difference between what's real and what's just in your mind. So writing down your feelings can really change how you feel. It gives your mind something real to work on, stopping it from focusing too much on one thing. It's very important to express your bad feelings. Ignoring them only makes them stronger and more frequent. Writing down your feelings, especially the ones that bother you, and looking at them again and again, makes them less powerful. You'll notice they're not as strong and over time, realize they weren't as big as you thought. This helps you find solutions and move forward, especially when you can mentally and emotionally step back from the situation. Another way of turning the negative thoughts into positive ones is by using the following technique when expressing yourself, which will help you shift your vibration and lessen the degree of importance attached to certain situations. This technique involves altering the meaning you assign to challenging situations by using humor. For instance, consider these examples. I just had a joyfully spectacular failure. That girl doesn't like me, how wonderfully deceptive she is. I've been fired from my job, what incredible luck I have. By employing humor in this way, you're not just breaking your usual pattern of reaction, but it's likely that you might even find yourself laughing. This change in approach can have a profound effect. It's like holding up a mirror to your circumstances. The mirror reflects back the energy you put out. In essence, life has a way of returning to you what you give. When you approach difficulties with a light-hearted attitude, you're more likely to experience positive outcomes. This doesn't mean trivializing your problems, but rather choosing to view them through a lens of optimism and humor. Such a shift in perspective can significantly alter your experience, leading to a more balanced and joyful approach to life's challenges. Using what-ifs to your advantage. The habit of contemplating what-ifs in a negative light is common, but have you ever stopped to consider the impact of framing them positively? This shift in perspective holds an immense transformative power. Envisioning positive scenarios can reshape your outlook on life and open doors to new possibilities. What if the financial goals you've set are not just met, but surpassed? Imagine the doors that could open with such financial freedom. The ability to travel, invest, or simply live without the constant worry about money could dramatically improve your quality of life. And what about love? What if the person you're meant to spend your life with is closer than you think, perhaps just a chance encounter away? Imagine the happiness and completeness that finding true love could bring to your existence. At work, what if you're closer to a promotion than you realize? Imagine the sense of accomplishment and the new challenges and opportunities that could come with a higher position. Your career could take a leap forward, bringing new experiences and learnings. Now consider the book you're reading. What if it turns out to be the most influential book you've ever encountered, offering insights and wisdom that change your life forever? Think about the miracles that might be waiting just around the corner. Embracing a mindset of positive what-ifs can set the stage for these wonders to unfold. Envisioning the best possible outcomes in any situation can change the way you approach life. Ask yourself regularly, what could improve? What could bring joy and wonder into my life? What if the next big positive change is just a moment away? This approach isn't merely about wishful thinking. It's about cultivating a mindset that is open to and expects positive developments. It's a belief in the possibility of good, a readiness to receive the opportunities that may arise. By anticipating positive outcomes, you naturally steer your actions and thoughts in a direction that makes these outcomes more attainable. It's a powerful way of creating a self-fulfilling prophecy, where your optimism lays the groundwork for real, tangible success and happiness. The most important thing about the tough challenges that life throws at us is that they make us rethink how we approach what we want. If we want to attract and manifest something in our lives, it usually means we feel we're missing it. This feeling of lacking something happens because we're not in tune with what we're trying to get. Let's talk about money. If you want to be rich, you need to start seeing money as something good and powerful, something that can change the world and give you the freedom to do what you want. But many people see money as a problem or something that's always lacking. If you think money is dirty, always changing hands, or makes people bad, then you'll push it away because that's how the law of attraction works. You'll end up in situations that make you think even worse about money. This idea also applies to love. If you link love with hurt, trouble, and sadness, it's unlikely you'll find it. And if you do, you might just end up with the hurt and sadness you were worried about. It's always better to see the good side of things because there are two main feelings: love and fear. These feelings are the same in nature but different in degree. In life, you often have to choose between acting out of love or fear. So the problems you face are actually chances to grow. They're opportunities to find the positive in things and bring more good into your life. Make sure you don't let doubts created in your mind stop you from achieving your dreams. Use these bad thoughts as a push to change for the better, to think about your experiences, and to learn to see the good in everything. Albert Einstein said, "You can live your life two ways. One is like nothing is a miracle. The other is like everything is a miracle." I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe because I'll be sharing a lot more stuff like this and you won't want to miss any of it.